Huh. I stopped the video too soon. Um, I need to get a timer again. Oh, what the heck? I'll look. I'll try to look at this and see if I can see when it's getting close to 30 minutes, and then I'll stop it. Of course, I kind of get carried away here, so I don't know if I'll be able to stop it in time. Anyway, at the beginning of these videos, I'll do the introduction again. And as a matter of fact, I think I'll put the introduction on every one of these videos. So let you know what's going on here. Okay, I'll continue it one more time. Okay. All right. Hello. This is a video series where I question a Muslim who is very intelligent and very good at Al Taqqiya, guarding, diverting, changing the subject, and lying practically to perhaps lying to protect Islam. So good is he at Al Taqqiya, he never once fully answers the question of whether he'd have a problem if it if it were reversed and Muslims had to pay a high jizya like tax, and until they said Allah was more than one, and they then had to bow down to Las Vegas not 5 but just 3 times a day, or risk being killed after the shirk worshipping religion's sacred months were passed. Nor does he ever answer as what the Torah and Injil are, Jews and Christians are to use to stand firm upon and judge therein of the Quran with, if the Torah and Injil are not the book that makes people the book, that is the Bible, for Jews and Christians. Also, he never answers for it, for if one can still be innocent while not being a Muslim, and instead believe Allah has a son who died on the cross for your sins, so you don't have to pull out a prayer rug and stick your patootie there 5 times a day every day for the rest of your life. But hey, those are just a few of these questions a Muslim is superb at avoiding. That this one is superb at avoiding. I doubt he will answer me still, but after seeing this video series, hey, maybe he will be far more inclined to answer them. We'll see. Okay. All right, now I'm going to. Oh, one more thing. When I do my words, I'll be using this side of my face. When I do his, I'll be using that side of my face. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. All right, I'll continue here. Now, if you read the Injil and the clear signs handed down, as a matter of fact, the Quran is far more graphic in how Mary became pregnant with Jesus by Allah's Holy Spirit in the form of a man in all respects, breathing Allah's spirit into Mary's vagina. It's far more graphic of how Mary became pregnant by Allah in the Quran than how Mary became pregnant by God in the Injil. Trust me, it is. Yeah, trust me, it is. Which was removed in revised versions. Not removed in the clear signs handed down Quran. It certainly wasn't removed. You see, we believe in Jesus, Papa. Unlike you people who don't believe in Muhammad, Papa. You need to believe in Muhammad to be saved, don't you? But you don't think that's partnering with Allah to have to believe in Allah and Muhammad at the same time during the Shahada? True? How come? How is and Muhammad is his prophet not partnering with Allah shirk when you are in the process of becoming a Muslim through Shahada? And keep insulting him, etc., etc., etc. hurts us. How am I insulting Muhammad? Oh, asking questions about him is insulting to you, true? But it's not just with Muhammad, Papa. Please don't make fun of insult our Jesus, Papa. How am I insulting the Islamic Jesus by asking questions about him? Then he gives me some video to see. He says, take a look at this for more exposure. Okay, and it will be true and not Taqqiya. And he didn't respond, but I say for another time, I say, when God became a son of man, guess what? It sounds like he did change his mind in one part of the Injil that I'm aware of. Please, brother, you are being like all those who have their own beliefs like Christmas, Santa Claus, 25th December, Trinity, begotten and many. Santa Claus? Where in the book does it say to believe in Santa Claus? By the way, did you know that it seems to take just as much faith to believe in Santa Claus as it does to believe Satan at night ties knots in the back of your head and sleeps in the upper interior of your nose, like Muhammad said, making it so you have to wash out and rinse your nose out 3 times? How can Muhammad be right about Satan sleeping in so many noses at once, unless Satan is ubiquitous, like God in the book? Is Satan ubiquitous? To believe Satan sleeps in millions of noses in the night at the same time would seem like you could believe Santa visits millions of houses at night on Christmas Eve, don't you think? Yet Muhammad said that at night. Muhammad said at night Satan not only ties knots in the back of your head and says, the night is long and all that, but sleeps in your nose, and only 3 washings gets him out. To believe that, I feel one could believe in Santa Claus. How about you? We don't want to know what you think or believe. How about after sacred months are past? It then seems very important to know what you think or believe after the forbidden months are past, according to in Quran 9:5. It's easy to understand that it seems to be altered. Not if you aren't a liberal or atheist, especially when they change yes, Messiah to Jesus Christ, to Isa. How come it's not a problem to change Yeshua to Isa, like Muhammad did in the quote clear signs? Yeah. Where no one has the right to translate names or change them. Okay, well, how did Yeshua become Isa? Oh, but Muhammad had that right to change it, right? How come he had the right to change Yeshua to Isa, but no one else to change Yeshua to Jesus? What gave Muhammad the right to change it from Yeshua to Isa? And we know that Romans took over Christianity around 325 AD. Sounds like Christianity took over Romans, thanks to Constantine. Look at this video. Far more exposure, and it'll be true and not Taqqiya. Does he speak and then not act? Does he promise and not fulfill? Here itself proves that Jesus was not God. Really? How? In Hebrew, or even its translation, you'll find in Bible, Number chapter 23, verse 19. Quote, God is not a man that he should lie, nor a son of man that he should change his mind. God is not a man. Well, at the time God said he wasn't a man nor a son of man, hey, I agree. He wasn't a man nor a son of man. Jesus was a man, son of Mary. If you read the clear signs handed down, Quran, sounds like he was a son of Allah as well. Well, with all the intimacy Allah's spirit, in the form of man in all respects, was doing with Mary's farjaha, blowing and breathing into it. And you said when God became the Son of Man. Guess what? It sounds like he did change his mind in one part of Injil, you say. True, I said that. As we see the contradictions here, God is not a man that should change his mind. Right. God can't change his mind. So it's not possible for him to change the mind in one part of the Injil. But when God became a son of man, Jesus, then it seems he could change his mind, yes. Also, it's you who claim that God became the Son of Man, not God or Jesus. You need to obey Claire Sign's handed down, Surah 568, and stand firm upon the Injil, where you'll see it's not me who makes such a claim, but the Injil itself. Okay, it doesn't respond there, but then another time, uh, he sends it back, so it has me talking. So I say, true. He just said things that don't make sense if he isn't God. Yeah, Jesus said things that don't make sense unless he's God. Before Abraham was, I am. If you see me, you see the Father. I and my Father are one. Why callest thou me good? No one is good except God. And Jesus was good. You yourself say it's true. So this means that you agree that there is not one unambiguous statement from Jesus where he says he's God or worship me. Yeah. I don't see it as ambiguous about him being God with those scriptures. They're only ambiguous if you want to believe they are ambiguous. How now about what he just said things that don't make made sense if he isn't God. Quote, before Abraham was, I am. If you've seen me, you've seen the Father. I and my Father are one. I am my Father. Why callest thou me good? None is good except God. Right, I said that. Before Abraham was, I am. Just like how to misunderstand Quran and Hadith without reading its context, you fail to do it with Bible as also. So what does before Abraham was, I am mean to you? Please check out the context. Will you check out the context? You know, hey, will you check out the context? You know. So if you read the context, you'll understand that he was with God not in any form of flesh or spirit, but within image, within knowledge. Where does it say that in the Injil? Scriptures, please. Which can be confirmed when Jeremiah says when Jeremiah says, quote, I knew you before you were in the mother's womb, which means we were with God in his memory, but be it Jesus, me, you, or anyone. Oh, I see. Well, how about this? In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Sounds more than a thought with God, don't you think? So now Jesus makes sense. Why all that attention on Jesus being in the beginning as the Word, if he is like us, just thoughts before we were born? And why is Jesus the creator of all things, visible and invisible, both visible and invisible, if he's just a thought before he was born? You know, why does it say that in the Injil? Similar things happened with Moses when he asked God, what do I say when they ask who sent me? So God replies, tell them I am what I am. So when people ask him, who are you? He replies, what? That doesn't concern you. I am what I am. No, I'm pretty sure it's I am that I am. That's why context first. Right. But are you saying God is telling Moses to say Moses, is I am? Or is God saying to tell the Egyptians that God is telling God I am? You'll say it's Moses, true? Everyone that I know of believes God is calling himself I am. By the way, in the Injil, when those who come to get Jesus ask if he is Jesus, Jesus says, I am he, and it made them fall back to the ground. How come? Similar things our prophet said, that he was with God before he was born. But was he Allah like Jesus? The word was God, it says. Was Muhammad God also? Are you going to admit that? When shirk is the worst of sins? Where does it mean he was in flesh? Spirit, but the knowledge of God. So, before Muhammad was born, he was in knowledge of Allah? Don't you mean Allah was in knowledge of Muhammad? Since we both Christians and Muslims believe the same, that God is all-knowing and all-hearing, again, was Muhammad not only with Allah, but was Allah at the beginning, like Jesus with God? Quote, and then he didn't answer me, so I didn't say this. If you see me, you've seen the Father. Ram, my brother, why don't you read it once again? Why don't you read it once again? You've made a huge mistake. Oh? But since I am not here to criticize, really, then what are you doing? But to clear the misunderstandings and misconceptions, okay, here it should be, quote, if you've seen me, then you've seen the Father. And the difference would be what? Which, again, is misunderstanding due to the lack of knowledge in context. How so? Let me show you what it means in context. This is the scene when Philip asks Jesus, Papa, when he says, don't be troubled. Don't be troubled. Trust in God and trust in me. There are many rooms in my Father's house. I would not tell you this if it were not true. I am going there to prepare a place for you. After I go and prepare a place for you, I will come back. Then I will take you with me so that you can be where I am. You know the way to the place where I'm going. Thomas said, Lord. Thomas said, Lord. Thomas said, Lord, we don't know where you are going. So how can we know the way? Jesus answered, I am the way. I am the truth and the life. The only way to the Father is through me. If you really knew me, then you would know my Father too. But now you know the Father. You have seen him. But this Philip is so persistent that he asks, show us the Father. That is all we need. Jesus answered, Philip, I have been with you for a long time, so you should know me. The people that has seen me has seen the Father too. And you have no problem with that being in the Injil. How come? And yet we stand at the same point where he never said, he was God or worship me. No, he just said, quote, no one comes to the Father but through him. But that's not worship to you, true? And he didn't answer me. Then I say, I and my Father are one. Another misunderstanding due to the lack of knowledge one considers this as Jesus claiming he is God. But you see, he is still not stating that he is God. How so? Now going to the context, you'll understand it clearly, okay? But I'll give you an example. Same John states in John 17, 22 to 22, 20 to 22, quote, that they all may be one, as thou art in me and I in thee, that they also may be in us, I in them, and thou in me, that they may be made perfect in one. Okay, you see, my dear Ram, here Jesus is referring to all the 12 disciples, including the traitor. So since I've got sense, it doesn't mean that they are one. They are inseparable, but it means that they become one in purpose. I and my Father are one means that Father and Jesus both are same in purpose. The purpose is for everyone to believe in God and Jesus Papa for the right path, cause it was the same with Abraham, Jacob, Adam, and Muhammad Papa. Well, I guess you can see it that way. You can see that as that way, but how do you explain John 1:1? And John 1:1. Also, how do you explain Jesus saying he is the first and the last when God says he is the first and last? Also, when Thomas says to Jesus, after putting his hand into Jesus' side, "My Lord and my God," how come Jesus didn't correct him and say, "Stop at the Lord, please, Thomas"? How come? How come he didn't correct him? If shirk is the worst of sins, you know. And he never answers me. So another time I say this. Another time I say this. I've got less than 10 minutes left here. Okay, Mark 10:18. Jesus said, and Jesus said to him, "Why do you call me good? No one is good but God alone." And Jesus was good. Yeah, I said that. Indeed, he was good. But that doesn't mean that he is God. Oh, does it? Only he wasn't good. Good master can refer to anyone who is a good master, but Jesus was good. So he was, in a way, calling himself God, but doing so in a modest sort of way, if you ask me. You say, and Jesus was good. And you're going to say he wasn't good? Were Adam, Abraham, Jacob, Solomon all evil? No, they weren't perfect. Adam ate the fruit. Abraham lied about his relation with Hagar and got Hagar pregnant with Ishmael due to doubting God. He could have a son with Sarah. Jacob was a deceiver. Solomon screwed around. So, no, they weren't perfect. No good. Only Jesus, who is God. No, they always spoke the truth. Spoke the truth? Deceiving your dad into thinking you are your brother to rob your brother of his birthright is telling the truth? How so? They are the prophets chosen by God. They won't be evil. Maybe not, but certainly not. But certainly aren't good like God. I mean Jesus. Well, same thing. And Muhammad Papa was good too. Muhammad was good too. Having sex with a 9-year-old. Having old lady poets killed for speaking their minds about you, slitting the throats of hundreds of Jews due to the offense of just a handful of Jews, saying the sun asks permission to rise when the sun only appears to rise due to Earth rotation. Does your ideology add up to our prophet Papa too? I don't think so. Steven Spielberg is good at directing movies. Tom Cruise is good at acting. Really? Mike Tyson was good at boxing. I am good at seeking truth. You should be seeking knowledge, which according to Muhammad is better than pulling out a prayer rug and praying for 70 years if you are just seeking knowledge for 1 hour. 1 friggin' hour is better than 70 years of having your patootie in the air on a prayer rug. Yeah, 1 friggin' hour. Of course, he didn't say pulling out a prayer rug. He just said praying for 70 years. But besides pulling out a prayer rug, what is prayer in Islam if it's not pulling out a prayer rug and sticking your patootie in the air 5 times a day, every day for the rest of your life? Can you be like a Christian and just pray in your mind, believing God, quote, looks upon the earth, looks upon the heart? You are good at alleging faults in Islam. He admitted that I am good at alleging, good at alleging faults in Islam, huh? You mean asking questions about Islam Muslims seem to have no answer for. This doesn't mean that they are God. It means that they are just good. I believe they're humans. How's that? But Jesus was good, truly good. And when he said no one was good except God, I, like most Christians, believe he was alluding modestly to himself. And Jesus himself says, "Why call me good when God is the only one who is good?" You claim that, not Jesus, Papa. I'm not good. I'm a human. Only God, Jesus, is good. For if I am good, then Jesus was a liar for saying that. And he didn't respond to me, so another time I say this. Did you know that Jesus was made a little lower than the angels? I bet you feel Christians believe Jesus is still lower than the angels even after his resurrection, true? His resurrection, you say. When, after his alleged crucifixion, Jesus returned to the upper room and greeted his disciples as Shalom Walaikum, which means peace be upon you. But they were terrified because they thought that he was a spirit or a ghost. But he asked them to, quote, "Behold my hand, I am flesh, and spirit cannot be flesh." That is what differentiates Jesus from human and God, form according to Christians. And when they touched him, they were convinced that he isn't ghost or spirit, but human in flesh. And then he ascended to heaven. So resurrection is invalid here. I don't see how that invalidates the resurrection. I believe God changed, and I believe God changed his body and brought the body of Jesus to life as a symbol before taking Jesus up to heaven. The body Jesus walked around in was, in a way, to let us know what our bodies will be like someday. Bodies that can at least eat fish and honeycomb. And he didn't respond there. Then I say, "Oh, I watched them a lot, the videos. Do you ever watch them take on David Wood?" Yeah, I watch the Islamic scholars like Nike and all that stuff. Do you ever watch them take on Wood, Sam Shamoun? Yeah, David Wood, Sam Shamoun, and Jay Smith. Jay Smith is the best because he studied Islam far longer than Wood, Shamoun, and others. But I bet Wood and Shamoun will soon surpass Brother Smith. I've never watched them, but when I am free, I sure will. I don't think you will. Then I say this. If you can, go to Acts 17 Apologetics. They usually have debates with the best of Muslim apologists. And for my own knowledge, there is the era in the Bible where Jesus couldn't fulfill the prophecy. When Jesus was asked by the people, "Show us some signs," he replied to you, "You are not worthy for any more signs, but I'll show one last sign. That is the sign of Jonah, where I'll be in the heart of earth, there for 3 days and 3 nights. But in Bible, there is only 1 day and 2 nights, which is not 3 days and 3 nights. Since this has brought the issue of God, Friday being a myth. Look at this video for more exposure." And if you study what was taking place around the time of Jesus, this is crucifixion, you can't tell if it was really he was crucified on Friday, Thursday, or even on a Wednesday. Oh, I guess, yeah, or even on a Wednesday. The Catholic Church officially made it a Friday, but show in the Injil where it says the word Friday for me, please. Personally, I think it was a Thursday. All right, I'll stop it right here.